Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. We record these interviews so potential buyers can learn more about the business and the seller to help them make a buying decision. Now, all of the business details, which include the type of business it is, how much revenue and profit it makes, and all of the assets included in the sale can be found on the business listing. To view this information, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business listing number, which is listed in the video thumbnail and the description. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And if after listening you want to take an even deeper dive into the business to perform your due diligence before potentially purchasing this business, you can unlock this listing to look through all of the business information, which includes the domain, the products, the P&L, and more. So can you tell us a little about your background in building and running online businesses?
Well, this is the first business we've built. It started as a side hustle about 2.5 years ago, but it quickly became quite obvious how profitable it was going to be. So I looked into finishing my career as a vice principal, which I now have, and I focus on building this business full time. It was sparked by a TikTok video my wife saw about 3 years ago, and she pestered me for a couple of months to show me the actual thing and to look at what it was and how it worked. And I was blown away, to be honest, by what it was, by what it claimed to do, and the transformative impact that it had on the relationship between dogs and their owners. And we trademarked the brand name we now use. And if you look at that name on TikTok, it has over 3 million views of videos on TikTok, some related to our product, but most kind of organic content that's created using our brand name, as it's very much associated with the product. So we've been involved in the e-commerce sector for about 2.5 years now. As I say, the last 12 months or so, we've been taking it really seriously. We've learnt a great deal, and we have really secured our position as the premium supplier of this product outside of America, which is our biggest market because there's quite a dominant presence in America by another brand. And yeah, that's what we do. One of the things to mention is I have a background in education, but also in educational technology. So I've won various awards for my use of technology in education. And that was a big factor in the selection of this product because it was something I was very comfortable with developing. We've developed a really sophisticated product that's very, very user-friendly.
So why are you selling the business now instead of keeping it and growing it further?
The reason for sale is really simple. Two main reasons, really. First and foremost, my skill set very much lends itself to building brands and not taking them from where it is now to the next level. It's better for me from a commercial perspective to take a cash lump sum now, use that cash lump sum to develop multiple other brands, which I've shown I've been able to do, than to keep that for the next 3 or 4 years and have a kind of a slower drip of profits. Secondly, I really believe in the product. Actually, the concept of the product is transformational for the relationship between owners and their pets. So I would like to see someone just take it further, really, outside of America where there isn't such a strong alternative for a premium product. So I would like to see someone do that. Again, I'm not going to be the person that does that as I don't have the experience or the skill set to do that. I recognize.
What did you learn from building this business that worked for you, or what do you think contributed to the success you experienced with this business?
When we launched the business, we brought to the market a small pack of our product, and it went very well. We're making some money from it, but we weren't making a living per se. But what really took the business into the stratosphere, so to speak, was about a year ago, we changed direction. And we went to, this started 2022, we decided to create a premium version of what was available on the Amazon Marketplace. Now, we were the first to do this, and it really, really helped. It is a high ticket item. They're expensive to buy, originally around about £100, $140 in America, 120 euros in Europe. 160 in Australia, 150 in Canada. They sold very, very well because they were offering premium quality. We got there first. Initially, we were a brand that a lot of people had used with our smaller packs, our cheaper packs originally. So people kind of bought into the quality of what we were doing. I guess we saw quite a bit of repeat custom from people. We also listened to customers a lot. We developed the product initially and then we refined it over multiple different manufacturing rounds. This is currently their fourth iteration of the product. And I think the attention to detail within that process and listening to customers really helped. If you look at our reviews on Amazon, you'll see that customer service comes up time and time again. We make a lot of effort to engage with customers. I think as well, getting those reviews, getting those 5-star reviews was really, really important too. We had a lot of people who would try the product and like it, but wouldn't necessarily review. But we were able to get in contact with those people by setting up an extended warranty for 12 months, which no one has ever activated that. But it is technically in case of fault, but we're confident that the product will last very well. People leave the details and then we're able to get in touch and really, get a review out of them. And that's worked very well for us. Another thing we've done is we've created a parent listing with multiple ASINs structured underneath that parent ASIN. And we're just about to introduce 2 further ones in there. And we effectively manipulate what is available to us within Amazon. So the use of the Vine review program to get further reviews has been very helpful, and then putting all of those products into the one listing under the parent ASIN, again, it's helped us build a very commanding position in that marketplace.
Got it. So was there anything you tried that didn't work out as well?
Loads, absolutely loads. We've made loads of mistakes through the process and learned from them and, developed the products as a result or developed the ASIN as a result. So the main thing that we've done wrong is one manufacturing round. We didn't check that the barcode for one of our smaller products, it's actually the same product but a smaller pack. We basically didn't check that the barcode was accurate. In short, they had mislabeled it. So we had going into warehouses in Canada and Europe and the UK actually. We had people ordering one product and getting another one, and this was creating some real problems for us. And really that was, just a mistake. One that since rectified, it's taken us a while to rectify, but through removal orders and communications with Amazon, which is difficult, but we've got that resolved now. So we're happy enough with that. What it created for our business too was a very fluctuating NCX and negative customer experience. So within Europe and Canada particularly, we had returns of the product, and that's not good for your algorithm. So our last 3 or 4 months have not been as positive as they were last year, or certainly the months from, these are the quiet months for us prior to summer and Christmas, but we had bigger months prior. And the reason for that is the NCX rate. But now we've rectified that, so we expect that to pick up. But yeah, that was a big mistake, really. In terms of other things that we did that didn't work, nothing obvious comes to mind. We've tried a couple of different product alternatives or variations that haven't necessarily been successful, but they have helped us understand the market better. So I don't really consider they are negatives per se, maybe just things to learn from, much as that sounds cliched, but it is the truth. It's helped us refine what is a very successful product.
Can you describe the amount and the type of work that you do on this business to maintain it?
This is a really low maintenance product. It is a premium high ticket item, so you don't require a huge number of sales per day for it to be profitable. I guess the main things that I would do on a day-to-day is contact customers, requesting reviews. But again, there's not a whole load of customers to contact because again, you have say 10 to 15 more typical months reviews requests per day. But again, we use Jungle Scout, so that's all automated anyway, really. It's not a huge amount of work. I guess VAT payments for Europe is something that comes up every now and again, every 4 weeks or so, depending on the country. That needs to be paid. But again, it is a very straightforward process. We use Amazon's Avalara software. So we don't use it at all, to tell a lie, that they do it all for you. And they just tell you how much there is to pay per month. With Australia, Canada, Japan, it's all threshold related. So we don't pay VAT there. They do it for you. So that's easy enough. genuinely is quite really, really easy. And again, that's kind of coming back to the first question when I said about someone taking this to the next level. I feel like this could do so much more with someone who has a little bit of marketing experience and an ability to focus the marketing on a particular demographic or customer. We did market research. We paid £2,500 to get some market research done, looking at who the typical customer for us would be. And what came back was women between the age of 25 to 45 or 55 with a particularly kind of active social media engagement. So if it was particularly TikTok too, we found that it was actually 64% of people in that demographic, 25 to 45, active on TikTok, who had seen the concept work, said that they would buy the product if they would, come across it. I don't know how reliable that is. We used SurveyMonkey, who offer a market research app. So, it was useful enough to help. And I guess it was useful for us, but it wasn't that useful because at the time we were looking at getting into retail. But again, a lack of experience in that industry, it wasn't right for us to take it forward there. But certainly with someone with a more experience in that particular field would probably do very well. But again, that's not us, and we recognize that.
Now, if you were to keep the business, what are some ways you would try to grow it?
There are so many ways that this could be grown. And I think really what the challenge is for the new owner is to understand where they can do that best. We're currently in the process of having professionally done images and A+ content and videos that we're going to add to the main ASIN. I think the opportunities to add supplementary products like trials and whatnot is massive, and we've actually just done that. So we had 2 really successful ASINs of 4-packs earlier on in the process. I mentioned earlier they were originals, and what we've done is we phased them out and replaced them with a 2 and a 4-pack that matches a brand that kind of hooks into future sales. So again, there's good hooks there for people. I've mentioned this again before, it sounds like a broken record, but the opportunity, if we had someone who understood marketing properly and way to push this out to people, I think it would do really, really well. I think having sales on the website and pushing traffic to the website would also do really well. And then of course you're going to gain a lot more customer data, and so therefore your kind of marketing funnel becomes much more refined. But again, there's so many growth opportunities with this that it's one of those where it's ripe really for somebody else to come in and just see where they're going to add value to the business, because at this point it really does manage itself.
And what are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
When talking about risks, I'd say the biggest risk to this product will be a competitor coming in and doing effectively the same thing. Now, the advantage we have is that we are obviously already here. We have multiple hundreds of reviews. We've got a strong listing. We have variations of our product. If someone was to come and try and do this, you would be talking about probably $100,000 to get it set up. And even then, the quality of the product itself, this is our 4th iteration, to get that right first time is going to be exceptionally difficult. I think we've been lucky in a sense when we've caught this, because it's actually given us time whilst the market was growing for the product to develop it to the point at which it's a really, really good product. So I'd say, competition will be the biggest risk, but that risk is mitigated significantly by the fact that our product is already there and well established as the market leader for the premium product outside of America. And also that anyone who does try and do that, it takes a significant upfront cost and therefore risk. And we put a lot of attention to detail into the planning of the product itself, and we are still on our 4th iteration. So, to get a comparable product at this point would be very difficult to do that first time.
And how much support are you willing to offer a buyer who acquires this business?
In terms of the support that I'm willing to offer, whatever you need, really, to be honest. It doesn't take that much to run the business from a day-to-day perspective, but I quit my full-time employment in order to focus on this fully. So once this is done, we have a new brand that we're working on. But outside of that, I'm happy to help. My background is in education. I was a vice principal there for 5 years. So I'm happy to help, generally speaking, with anything people need. And this is absolutely no different. This product is important to me. What it does for dogs is really significant. So anything I can do to help, really, obviously within reason, happy to do so, whether that's jumping on calls, whether it's advising on how we went about something, looking at it retrospectively from when I was owning the business, I'm happy to do that. It says here that there's a standard 30 days of email and phone support. Look, at the end of the day, if you have a problem 6 months in, you will have my number and you'll be able to pick up the phone. I'm more than happy to help. So we've gone through a real journey with the product and getting it to where it is. So we have real knowledge, and it would be a waste for that just to kind of sit untapped. So yeah, more than happy to help.
And regarding the sale of this business, just confirming you commit to a non-compete?
Absolutely no problem with this at all. Yeah, once we sell the business, that is us out of this niche, and we've no intention to look back into it. So yeah, that will be us.
And are you open to negotiating something like an earnout?
I'm very open to anything, to be honest. Earnout would work depending on what they look like in practical terms. This is a very valuable business. I see it, it's very valuable for us, but in the right hands, it's much more valuable than what it is for me. So looking at performance-based, that could be something that worked. Looking at fixed term, that could work as well. But obviously, as I mentioned before in question 1, the purpose of this sale is to get liquid and have funds to be able to play with growing other different brands. So that obviously becomes a factor. Any seller is going to prefer all the cash up front, of course, and no difference in that regard. But if it's something that needs to work for the sale to take place, I'm open to it. But again, it will be preferable to not have an earnout. But again, I'm open to it, particularly performance-based, looking at the longer term. And certainly if we wanted more help with managing the business or just insight, that could be something we looked at too.
Now, putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
For the right person, this is a really big opportunity. The numbers right now speak for themselves. It's a profitable business. It requires next to no input on a daily basis. It really just needs ticking along. But the potential for growth is huge. That'll probably come down to the expertise of the buyer. If you have a marketing experience or background, if you can direct traffic to website, if you can make sales through the website, then that will certainly increase revenue significantly. We've just had a significant inventory update too. So we brought in new ASINs that are going to complement what we already do, but also bring new people to our brand by offering an alternative that's cheaper, like that kind of first step into the brand. And again, you'll see when you see the product, it's very much something that you can build on over time. As well, about 4 weeks ago, we commissioned a marketing company because, we wanted to outsource this to produce new images for us. They've done companies like Pop Chips and various others. They've created some really, really cool images and A+ content, or they're in the process of creating the A+ content, and they're getting some videos done too. This is something we've never taken advantage of really before. We kind of had a go at the A+ content in the UK, but really not taking advantage of it fully. And we have the opportunity, we're brand registered in Europe, UK, and America. So we can do that. So I think this business will have a growth anyway, but in particular, with the right person at the helm, it will grow quite significantly. I think that's my genuine belief. And anything I can do to help in that process, well, I'll be learning alongside you. So, happy to be involved in that regard.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing is still for sale, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for this business listing number, which is listed in the video thumbnail and the description. And if you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. And once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So thanks for joining us, and until next time.